Hi guys, today I'm going to be showing you how to make this baby milk snake, and we're going to make him completely on this finger loom. And to make this exact one, you're going to need 62 bands total. 13 blacks, 12 whites, 1 orange, and 26 red bands. So let's get started. Let's start by making the eye. Mine will be black, taking a single band, twist double, and we're going to loop it from one peg, twist in the center, to the other peg across from it, making an X in the center, push it down, taking a single band, the color of your snake's head, and looping it on the same 2 peg, and we're looping it right across. And now we're going to pull the bottom 2 bands up and over to the center, like that, and getting our eye onto that single red band. And let's take it off the loom. Let's make our other eye, same thing, taking a single black band, twist double, looping it from one peg, twist in the center, and looping it across. Push it down, taking your red band or whatever color you're using, and looping it right across. Now pull the bottom 2 bands up and over to the center, and getting your eye onto that single band. And let's take it off of our finger loom and set it aside. Let's make our snake. Take a single black band, twist double, and looping it from one peg, twist in the center, and looping it across to the other one, creating an X in the center, like that. And this is the tail of our snake, so mine will be black. Taking 2 single bands, and I'm making a milk snake, so mine will be black, white, and red, looping it onto the same 2 pegs, and then pulling the bottom 2 loops up and over to the center. Taking 2 more single bands, looping it onto the same 2 pegs, and then pulling the bottom 2 bands up and over to the center. Push it down. My next 2 bands will be black, looping the 2 single blacks onto the same 2 pegs, and looping the bottom 2 bands up and over, leaving 2 loops left on those pegs. My next color will be red, so I'm taking the 2 red bands and looping it on the same 2 pegs straight across, and looping the bottom 2 bands up and over onto the red band. And continue with your snake, always on the same 2 bands, and then pulling the bottom 2 up and over to the center. Push it down. I'm doing it one more time with my red. And I'll do black. We're always working with 2 single bands, and pulling the bottom 2 up and over to the center. Pull your snake out. So that's our tail so far. Doing white, white, black. My first set of whites. Black, my 3 set of red bands, I'm just doing a baby snake, so if you want your snake longer, then you can just continue on making it longer. Push it down. My last set for my snake, the ring, taking my black, white, white, black, always looping it on the same 2 pegs. So that's what it should look like at this point. And now taking 2 red bands, we'll just put it across. It's the same 2 pegs, and then looping the bottom 2 bands up and over. Push it down. Let's make our head, taking a single twist double, and we'll do this 4 times, looping from 1 peg diagonally to the one next to it, like that. Single twist double, continue around, covering from 1 peg to the other, single twist double, and our last band, single twist double, so that's what yours should look like. It kind of looks like a clover, covering our 4 pegs with 4 single bands that we doubled. Now we're taking the bottom 2 bands on these 2 pegs and looping it up and over to the center. So pulling the bottom 2 loops up and over to the center. And now we should have 4 loops left on each peg, like that. Taking our eyes, and we're going to loop it from 1 peg to the other, and leaving the eye in the little corner. Let's go on the other side with our other eye, looping it from 1 peg to the other. Once again, our eyes in that little corner. Taking 2 more single bands, and we'll cover the other gaps on this side. So the eyes on these 2 pegs and this one, and we're covering with 2 single bands from this peg to that one and this one to that one. So that's what yours should look like, and you should have 2 loops up on top and 4 tight loops on the bottom. And now we're going to pull all the bottom 4 loops up and over to the center, leaving 2 loops left per peg. Let's go around your loom, grabbing the bottom 4 bands and loop up and over to the center, leaving 2 loops left per peg. Push it down, take 4 more single bands, and we're going to loop it around our loom. So that's what it should look like. Now we're going to pull the bottom 2 bands up and over, leaving 2 loops left per peg for all 4 pegs. Push it down. Now taking our tongue color, mine will be orange, and looping it across from 1 peg to the other, like that. Now we're going to pull the bottom 2 bands up and over under the orange band and onto the center, like that, onto the orange band. Now we're going to transfer the orange bands off of these two pegs and onto these two pegs where the red bands are. So going on your loom, grabbing the orange band and loop it onto the peg next to it with the red bands. The other side, same thing, pulling your orange band off and looping it onto the other peg with the red bands. Now hold your snake down, pulling the bottom two bands up and over to the center and on to the orange band. So that's what your snake should look like at this point. And now we're going to tie a slip knot. We're going to pull the single orange off of the one peg and loop it onto the other one. So we're going to pull that loop onto that peg and then pull it all the way past the loop that's there, grabbing the existing loop off of the peg, and that creates our slip knot. Pull our baby snake out and tighten the slip knot band and fix the eyes. If it's not right, just pull it out on the sides and pull out our body. So there's our baby snake on the finger loom. I hope you like him. Thanks for watching.